gentlemen, the following presentation is brought to you by Mr. Main Event Brian Waters and the real Dwayne Allen. The Wrestling Wrealm, the show for the intelligent wrestling fans. Off the top rope, I dwell in the wrestling realm. Like Jake stay in the snake pit and Kane be in hell. Like Taker stay in the graveyard, I'm punk in the shy. Call me Snooker cause I'm super and fly. You can hate all you want, but I'm flossing. The Miz said I'm awesome, and I'm upholding the law just like the big boss man. With Mr. Main Event Brian Waters, the real Dwayne Allen, toss you over the border like Hernandez, Mandez, pressing the stands. It's the show for the intelligent wrestling fans. Hitman like Hawk, but I'm not from Calgary. I'm all about the bill, so let that gold dust shower me, empower me like Farouk and the nation. If you don't know your history, then you should change the station. But if you do, you can cruise to YouTube / the Wrestling Wrealm. Your lessons are stale. Say the same old lines, man, you destined to fail. Like the Shockmaster or the Wrestler Nails. I'm a heartbreak kid, and my bid to be champion is unmatched. Anybody step, I'm face planting them. With Mr. Main Event and the real Dwayne, you the sisters of love, we the powers of pain. You see we coming with a spear while you're monkey flipping. It's Brian Waters, Dwayne Allen, and your boy Trenton. And that's just how the story goes. That's just how the story goes. It's the Wrestling Wrealm, baby. The Wrestling Wrealm. Mr. Main Event Brian Waters, the real Dwayne Allen. And I'm your boy Trent CMG. You know what it is, baby. Let's go.
Break it down. Yeah, I had a moment.
Yeah, it takes me back. It takes me back.
DX. Now, you talk about a group that evolved. You look at Shawn Michaels, Triple H, China. Great. Obviously great together.
Mm-hmm.
Shawn Michaels gets hurt. What do Triple H do? Call up one of his best friends, Sean Waltman. Everybody know become X-Pac, who was 1, 2, 3 kid back in the day. You know, he's obviously grown up. He's got the beard on. And then you have two guys who were lost. You know, kind of lost in the shuffle.
Mm-hmm.
Road Dogg and Billy Gunn. Which they said, you know, before coming together, they worked each other each week in and week out on Shotgun Saturday Night.
Yeah.
And then they said whoever got the loudest reaction would be the one to go over.
Right.
You know, only to become best friends. And then, you know, they joined the group and helped put them more over than they had ever been in their careers.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, you look at those two, and it's still degenerates.
Right.
You know, obviously, Shawn Michaels and Triple H, DX, is what really helped save the WWE because they was totally in the red.
Mm-hmm.
Then you even go as far as to say who they added in that group. Mike Tyson. You know,
right.
Tyson says that they helped each other out. You know, the WWE says they credit him because they helped get him over the hump. You know, helped really put wrestling back on the map. Well, put the WWE back on the map for WrestleMania 14.
Mm-hmm.
Tyson said if it wasn't for wrestling, he probably would have lost his house. You know,
right.
He owed so much money. You know, so I mean, just overall, a wonderful group. And who would have thought Triple H obviously later on will become one of the most decorated champions in history. You know,
absolutely.
Politics or no politics, you know.
You know how that goes. I mean, yeah, you look at a group like the Generation X. I mean, like I said, they started out as a mistake. Two guys, you know, in the clique, you know, who was sort of left after the original faction.
Mm-hmm.
Backstage, I'll say, backstage faction actually split up. You know, we credit the clique itself for how dominant they were because we'll move into the next group after that to show how something as small as that really sparked two different battles between two different companies as far as factions are concerned.
Yeah.
But with DX, it's like, okay, you got a guy like Shawn Michaels who's already at the top of his game. You got like Triple H that was up and coming. You know what I mean? He was, you know, Triple H was taking off his own self, and that was it was good as it was. And like you said, you saw hints of the New Age Outlaws supposedly joining DX at one point after a while, because after a while, Triple H always say, yeah, you know, we started taking notice of those guys because they did things in a similar fashion. Yeah, these are two guys, like you said, who were sort of left on the back burner, who have not much to do, and you put them together, and they have a sort of similar style about the way they went about things. Both incredible athletes, and Road Dogg magnificent on the mic. Having feuds with important tag teams like the Legion of Doom, no matter which shade of the LOD you got. You know, like people say by the time they were old and not as good as they, but the fact they were still like the LOD one way or another. Exactly. Beefing with guys like Cactus Jack and Terry Funk, you know what I mean, and that very hardcore style, it put those guys over and it made them seem really important.
Even despite them having the tag titles too, making them even more important and making those tag titles even more important.
I think they, in my opinion, they brought it back. Yeah. For me, for myself, you know, when I watched it, you know, that's my favorite all-time tag team is the New Age Outlaws, and you look at a guy like, okay, you have Triple H, who had already set the foundation of DX. And, okay, like you said, Shawn Michaels had gotten hurt. Okay, you were already looking at the New Age Outlaws. You know for a fact we're going to bring those guys in. But you have a disgruntled Sean Waltman, who just got fired from WCW recently. He didn't get a call. He got a fax saying you're fired. Turn your notice or whatever you want to call it. He was pissed off. Most people don't remember it, but and it's funny because you can't hardly find it on internet no more. He comes back and rips WCW a new one. That promo he cuts when his first day back, he didn't even have a name yet. They just kept calling him Kid because that's what he's known as Kid backstage. As far as the Clique is concerned, you don't hear his name. He don't get a name until like a week later. You don't hear him. He just he's just a kid. You hit your look at this kid. The kid is back or whatever. Right. He cuts a promo on WCW behind Bischoff like this and Hogan, you ain't that yada yada. So then the continued tradition of first the night starts off. You see Triple H, you see China, yada yada yada, and you see okay, new DX. You think, hey, China, X-Pac, and Triple H, not bad. And then later on that night, they get involved in a cage match, a rematch for New Age Outlaws, for the tag titles against Cactus Jack, and they beat the living piss out of those guys. And those guys join the ranks, and all you see is everybody climbing the cage, and you see a more extreme, more off the charts DX that took it to a different height and just took it to a new boundary. And for them to have all those guys together, like I said, it only highlighted who they were as individuals, but also as a group. And it really caused a war within wrestling companies because you had to choose a side because there were two major factions going on at the time. Yeah, I feel like when DX took off, it overshadowed Nation of Domination, the Nation, and stuff like that. And I think they had one of the better feuds. Okay. They were probably one of the best faction feuds I've ever seen with the Nation versus DX.
Oh yeah, the street fights, you know.
Oh yeah, because they were almost mirror images of each other. You know what I mean? They were the same type of guys doing it in the same type of limbo. You had your leader were like on the brink of trying to take it off. You know, they're holding down at mid card. Like I can't even call it mid card how good they were.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it's hard. Like when you looked at them, they were like second main eventers. I can't even call them like mid cards.
You could watch their matches and be satisfied, and be satisfied with what you got. The 60-minute match that Fully Loaded that year, that went all the way to the time limit, or even before that, because it was supposed to be title for title. It was supposed to be European title versus Intercontinental Championship. Right. The Rock comes out there and like 2 weeks prior on Raw, and helps D'Lo Brown win the title. He's like, yeah, we will make sure we have all the belts. Let me help my guy win the belt. You look at that, and it makes you wonder though. What if Shawn Michaels never got hurt? What if he never gets hurt, ladies and gentlemen? How far do either you have a bigger version of DX, obviously Shawn Michaels still gonna be in the world title game, so you have him going for him being the face of the company. With obviously it would be rivalry with Austin. Then you still have Triple H and The Rock. Then you have X-Pac and D'Lo Brown. Then you have the New Age Outlaws. And that was another thing, like you said, mirror images of each other. You had the two leaders. Right. Then you had the guys holding down, I guess you could call it a lower mid card.
The European title, that division of guys, right?
Yeah. And then you had two. They didn't really necessarily have a tag team, but at any given time they could always throw Kama.
And Mark Henry.
Godfather, and Mark Henry together.
They tagged a lot, like
but
in between.
Nothing was like when they imitated DX.
Oh no, see that's another thing. Like their promos were just on some other stuff. Like they didn't get in front of the camera and do the normal stuff like most people do. They sat there and they made fun of the nation in complete like fashion. It's funny when Road Dogg did D'Lo Brown, I was dying laughing.
Right.
He came out there. Do you smell the Crockett's cookie? He put the IC on the European title. He was talking about being in the bathroom and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, DX had some of the funniest parodies I've ever seen. Even when they were making fun of Shawn Michaels and they had the fake Shawn Michaels guy.
Yeah.
Come down and he dropped the ball. He's up, Michael, Shawn, you just dropped the ball again.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then when they had I forgot the gentleman's name, but the guy who used to do the own heart impression. You remember that guy who used to come to commentate? He used to do all the wrestling
I don't want to
impression?
speak his name.
Why, you don't like him?
Nah.
Why?
We had a Twitter.
You had a Twitter board with the dude who did the voices? Oh, what you beef?
This is.
Hey, yo, you beefing with the dude who did the own heart impression?
Yeah.
Wow. It's like Jason something. He won't tell me what it is.
Jason Sensation.
Oh yeah, that dude. Wow.
I hit him up, you know, like, yo, you know.
He tried to play you, didn't
get an interview. What's in it for me?
Oh.
I mean, shouts out to my boy. You did their logo.
Me? Did I do it?
You did it. PW Journal.
My
boy Jason. PW Journal. Yeah, I was talking to Jason about it. I was just like, man, you know, he's just an idiot. You know, he said, yeah, what a douche.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think he was trying to get into the wrestling business after a while.
And he was venting on Twitter that day about it. So I was like, well, let me find out some more, you know. Right. He was talking about people like Mike Tenay and Taz, who's then had their shot, but all of a sudden they don't want to give him a chance.
That's because he's a novelty gimmick. When you do something, they expect you to do it all the time. If you don't do that, like, why are we interested in you?
You would need like you always talk about, repackaging completely. But especially when you're doing something like that, that's all you were good for.
Yeah, you gotta repackage yourself and you gotta rebrand yourself. Because if you get stale, then what? They've invested money in and they can't get a return on what they've invested in. You got any big business, you have a problem.
Yeah. But yeah, he was funny. You know?
Wow. See, this is new to me. I didn't know
my bad. I thought I told you. You know.
I thought that was kind of funny. I didn't know you had a problem with Jason since
it was just recently, last Sunday.
In the event, Brian Waters, the real Dwayne Allen, toss you over the border like Hernandez, Mendez, pressing the stands. It's the show for the intelligent wrestling fans. Hitman like Hawk, but I'm not from Calgary. I'm all about the bill, so let that gold dust shower me, empower me like Farouk and the nation. If you don't know your history, then you should change the station. But if you do, you can cruise to YouTube, slash the Wrestling Wrealm, your lessons are stale. Say the same old lines, man, you destined to fail. Like the Shockmaster or the Wrestler Nails. I'm a heartbreak kid and my bid to be champion is unmatched. Anybody step, I'm face planting them. With Mr. Main Event and the real Dwayne. You the sisters of love, we the powers of pain. You see we coming with a spear while you're monkey flipping. It's Brian Waters.